A soccer match is never just one thing happening. That sounds obvious until you really sit with it. Because the visible match, the ball, the run, the save, the foul, the goal, is only one layer of the experience. Underneath it, around it, and moving through it, there is so much else at work: pressure, memory, identity, money, access, commentary, geography, fatigue, hope, history, weather, timing, and the strange little nervous system tax of caring about something you cannot control. That is what I mean when I say a match is plural. During the World Cup, that plurality gets turned all the way up. I'm not here as a soccer commentator. I'm not here to debate tactics, formations, substitutions, or who should have started. I love that layer too, but that's not the read I'm making here. I'm interested in the architecture of the thing, the container. The way the World Cup teaches players, fans, viewers, cities, broadcasters, and whole countries what to notice, what to risk, what to protect, what to feel, and what to believe is possible. Because this is not just a tournament, it is a designed pressure environment. And when the container changes, people change inside it. Start with the field. Players are not just executing a plan, they are reading a moving environment. They are reading pace, pressure, fatigue, tempo, confidence, weather, crowd energy, the referee, the clock, the opponent, the body language of their teammates, the shape of the match, the possibility of advancing, the cost of one mistake. There is no pause button. That is one of the things I love about soccer. The meaning is distributed. Your eye is not always told exactly where to go. The play keeps becoming. In some sports, the action resets. In soccer, the room keeps moving. So when I say a player has vision, I do not think that is only technical skill. It is room reading under pressure. The environment is changing while they are reading it. And that is the first piece of the architecture. The field is not a backdrop. It is an active, moving container. It is teaching people what is available, what is closing, what is safe, what is dangerous, and where the next opening might be. Then there's the tournament structure. This is where the World Cup gets especially interesting to me because the structure is never neutral. The group stage teaches one type of attention: points, tiebreakers, goal difference, third place possibilities. The strange math of watching two matches at once because one result changes the meaning of another. A draw can mean survival in one context and failure in another. A late goal can change not only the match, but the emotional architecture of the entire group. A team may protect a result not because they are passive, but because the structure has taught them what is worth risking. That is hidden architecture. The structure is not just organizing the experience, it is teaching behavior. And now that the group stage has ended and the round of 32 has begun, the container has changed again. The 2026 tournament's expanded format added a round of 32, with 8 third place teams qualifying after group play. That makes the group stage its own kind of pressure system before the knockout stage even begins. The knockout stage teaches something else: consequence, immediacy, no more cushion, no more, we can still make it if. Different structure, different behavior, different emotional room, which is the point. If you change the container, you change what people see, feel, risk, and do. Then there's the viewer, and this is where the World Cup becomes much bigger than sport, because the viewer is not outside the experience. Where you watch from changes what the match becomes. Are you in the stadium, at a fan fest, in the host city but not attending, watching alone at home, in a bar, with family, with people who already belong deeply to one of the teams? Are you watching your country, a club player you love, a team you just discovered and suddenly care about? No one watches from nowhere. You bring yourself into the match: your memory, your loyalties, your fatigue, your grief, your hope, your distance, your assumptions, your language, your access, your body. Even passive watching is not really outside the room. You're still part of the tapestry. And that is part of why this thing is so emotionally expensive. If you are really present to it, watching is not passive. It takes your body with it. The hope, the dread, the release, the anger, the grief, the prayer hands that you see go up in the stadium, the jumping, the collapse, the face in the crowd, the player on the ground, the person in the bar who is suddenly not just watching a match, but carrying an entire family history through one penalty kick. A match asks something of your nervous system. This is not a side effect. This is part of the experience. And then there's the broadcast. For many of us, this is the container we are actually inside. The broadcast decides what we see, what gets replayed, what gets slowed down, what becomes controversy, what gets framed as genius, what gets interrupted, and what gets sold back to us. The camera scans the crowd because the feeling is part of the event. The broadcast knows the match is not only the ball, it's the faces, bodies, reactions, flags, tears, silence, and noise. The broadcast shapes the read. Are you watching in English and Spanish with commentators who understand the cultural stakes, with commentators who flatten the story? Are you watching a stream that cuts away during a water break? Are you watching analysis that opens up the match or squeezes it into a tired script? What gets shown teaches us what to notice. What gets repeated teaches us what to care about, and what gets interrupted teaches us what can be sold. That's also part of the architecture. Then there is place. The World Cup is not just what happens after kickoff. It's a city waking up already inside the game. I think about being in Mexico City the morning of a US-Mexico qualifier Azteca. The match was later that day, but the city was already in it. The television was already in it. The conversations were in it. The whole day had a different shape because the match was coming. I think about being in the World Cup host cities in South Africa in 2010, Brazil in 2014. The match was never only the match. It was movement, weather, streets, strangers, flags, language, sound, proximity. And proximity changes the read. The vuvuzelas are the example I keep coming back to. In person, they belonged to the atmosphere. They were part of the place. When I got home and watched knockout matches on TV, I suddenly understood why people kept saying the noise. Same event, different container, different lesson. That matters. Because if the same event teaches something different depending on where your body is, then the container is not decoration. The container is meaning. There is also memory. Every match carries old matches. Club loyalties show up inside national teams. Family histories show up inside flags. Losses show up inside hope. Wins show up inside expectation. A country that has never been here before does not experience the group stage the same way a country that assumes it should always advance. A casual fan and a lifelong supporter are not watching the same match, even when they are sitting next to each other. And that is not a problem. That is part of the beauty. Soccer is porous. There are so many ways to enter: club, country, player, city, family, language, chance, curiosity, history. The simple fact that all you really need is a ball. That is part of why people call it the beautiful game, not because it is pure, because it is plural. And then there's a harder layer. If we're talking about the World Cup as a container, we also have to talk about who gets into it. Borders matter. Visas matter. Cost, hosting politics matter. Policing matters. Labor matters. Who is welcome matters. Who is priced out matters. Who can move easily and who cannot matters. The World Cup always carries the contradictions of the world around it. And I do not want to flatten that because the wonder is real. The fans are real, the emotion is real, the possibility is real, and the beauty is real. But the rooms are never innocent. That does not mean they cannot still hold wonder. That means we have to read both. And that is the discipline, not cynicism, not naivete. The discipline is refusing to look away from either beauty or the structure. So when I say the match is plural, this is what I mean. The match is not only the play, it is the field, the tournament structure, the viewer, the broadcast, the place, the memory, the money, the borders, the access, the history, the bodies, the stakes. All of it interacting at once. That is why the World Cup feels like a compressed version of human life on the planet. Identity, belonging, pressure, joy, grief, politics, money, movement, exclusion, hope. All of it moving at the same time. The mistake I think we make all the time, not just in soccer, is treating the visible event as the whole event. It almost never is. And this is where it connects to my work. Because sometimes a container is a soccer match. Sometimes it's a workshop, a service experience, a conference track, certification, a rollout, a piece of IP, a strategy that has to move through actual people. But the question underneath is the same. What is this container teaching before anyone says a word? Is it teaching people how to enter, what to trust, how to participate, what matters? Is it creating clarity, movement, and meaningful engagement? Or is it quietly creating confusion, passivity, surface level participation, or drag? That's the kind of architecture I read. I read signals. I sense the misalignments. I map what the room is teaching because every room is already teaching people something. So as you watch the rest of the World Cup, notice what you are watching from. Notice what the broadcast is asking you to see. Notice what the tournament structure is asking teams to risk. Notice what your own body is carrying into the match. Notice who gets to be there easily, who has to fight to be there, and who is missing from the room entirely. And then ask the same question in the rooms you design. If you design meetings, services, events, programs, launches, learning experiences, gatherings, what is your container already teaching before anyone says a word? Because a match is plural, a room is plural. And once you learn to see that in soccer, you start seeing it everywhere.